All right, this is part 2. Hopefully, we'll end right here. I'm going to read right from the book. I know you don't have your books in front of you, but I'm going to read what it is, and I'll write down the pertinent information, okay, and then what we want to solve for and that kind of stuff. All right, so this is, here it is. An accountant wants to buy a new computer, okay, in 3 years. Wow, this is quite a computer. That will cost $20,000, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is a 1966 textbook. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. It's not that old. But, I mean, well, he's an accountant, so I guess he needs a good computer. $20,000. Well, anyway, so it costs $20,000. And it says, how much should be deposited now? So in 3 years, he's looking down the road. Remember we talked about saving money and paying for it when you could? All right, so 3 years down the road, he knows. Let's change it to car, okay? 3 years down the road, you know when you want to get this car and it's $20,000. You okay with that? That makes sense, all right? And you say, okay, 3 years. I'm driving this, piece of junk right now, but in 3 years I want to get this nice thing that costs $20,000. What am I going to have to do in order to get that car in 3 years that costs $20,000 right now, okay? Of course, in 3 years, it might be more than $20,000. But you want to have $20,000 at the end of 3 years. You follow me? Okay, so you go to the bank, and it says, how much should be deposited now, okay, at 6% interest compounded annually. So let's write that down. So 6% interest. So the interest, and I got to put the pen tool on. There we go. The interest, am I writing? Oh, I'm clicking that dumb button. I'm going to complain about that the whole time I have this pen. The interest is 6%. So what do we write? You can write 6%, but you know what you're going to put into the formula. What are you going to put in? 0.06, okay? So you're going to get 6% interest, putting it into some account. I don't know if it's a bank or not. And it's compounded annually. Now that tells you something too. If it says it's compounded annually, that's one of my letters in my thing. What is the letter?
M.
It's the M. That's how many times it's compounded. Look back on that, in your notes that you're taking, and look at it, and it says M. So it's compounded annually. What's that number then? It's just 1, okay? It's just 1 time a year, all right? Not the best thing. I really don't know. I don't have that much, what do you call it? I just haven't gone to the bank and gotten money and talked to them about interest rates and compounded whatever. So I'm not really sure real life about if a bank will give you a monthly compounding or a yearly or what the norm is. I really don't know. That's not really my thing. But you could always figure it out. All right. And now it says, and you want to get $20,000 in 3 years. Let's talk about the 3 years. That's easy. What letter am I going to use for that?
3.
Okay. Yeah, but a number. What letter? It's the T for 3 years, right? Time is always written in years. And then you want to get $20,000 at the end. So what?
That's going to be your.
What is that? What letter do we have? Let's write the equation down so we remember. It's A equals, what is it? P, parentheses, 1 plus, what is it? R, yep, it's R over M. And that's taken to what? The Tm power. All right, so we already got the T. It's right there. All right, we got the M. We got the I. Ooh, or we got, I put I right there. I shouldn't have put I, should I? I should have put R for rate. Okay, it's interest. I mean, you know what that means. But it's R in this equation right here. We got A and we got P, don't we? So we got to figure out, and that's really the trickiest part of this whole thing. Yeah, A is the $20,000. That's right, because you want to have $20,000 at the end. So you're going to put in less than $20,000, right? Because if you get interest, you're going to make money off your money just sitting there doing nothing. All right, so you're going to put in less than $20,000, so the A has to be the $20,000. That's how much money you want at the end. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Make sure that you keep those things straight. That's really the hardest part. All the other things are pretty straightforward. The A and the P is the thing that people get confused about. So A is the amount of money you want after the interest rate accrues and all that kind of stuff and your time is over. So what are we solving for then? We're solving for what?
P.
We're solving for P. Now if you remember when we did this before, we always knew the principal and you just had to find the A, the amount. And that was easy. It was just plugging stuff in, no big deal. But now we have to do a little bit of algebra, okay? Because we have to solve for what? P. That's what we're trying to solve for. Say I put P equals question mark. I like to do that so I know what I'm actually solving for. All right, you with me? A lot of people like to put the numbers in right away. I don't. I like to do the algebra with the letters. That's why we learned algebra with letters, didn't we, with variables, so that we could solve for something. So I want to get the p by itself. So let's see what we want to do first. What do you think? Actually, this is a pretty simple thing. What's all this mess right here? All this stuff right here, what's that doing to the p? How do you get rid of something that's being multiplied? You divide. Okay, so I'm not going to show all that, but let's do this. So p equals what? A, what? Divided by, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? All right, put that in parentheses, 1 plus r over m to the tm. Now we have an equation, don't we? Now we can just plug and chug, all right? So just plug the numbers in and see what we get. So what was the A? You guys got quiet. 20,000. And then that's just a number 1 plus rate, talk to me. Rate, 0.06 over m, which is just 1. We don't really need that there, but we'll do it anyway because it's not always going to be a 1. So we'll put it there just so we know what it is. To the tm power. Now t is 3. Now obviously it's 1. We don't really need to put it there because 3 times 1 is 3. But you know, who knows? It might be compounded monthly or biannually or something like that at some other point. So we'll put it right in there. All right. And now you just plug that all into your calculator. All right. You could do it all in one shot if you wanted to, but I would just be careful with that. And I would do this. We could do this in our head. Look, 0.06 divided by 1 is just 0.06. If you add that to 1, what is that? 1.06. That's pretty easy, isn't it? To the what? Third power. There you go. And let me bring the calculator up. Right there. I think I got to shrink it. Oh, stink. What did I just do? Yeah, it does everything. I've used the mouse. Yeah, it shows up. Everything in that. Yeah, it's inside the blinking green thing.
So you got that for free?
Yep, you download it for free online. Completely legal. Everybody on YouTube hear that? Completely legal.
You required to say that?
Nope, not required to say anything. All right, so let's do this. Let's turn this thing on first. What's that? Yeah, I got to turn the fake calculator on, but sometimes I don't know why. Yeah, that was used in my other class.
That was funny.
That was funny, John. Thanks, Billy Wagner.
There it is. I don't know. Sometimes I click it once and it turns on. Sometimes I have to click it like 50 times. Well, not 50. All right, let's do this. We're running out of time. I want to get this done by 10 minutes. Here we go. It's 2,000. Right? 20,000. Thank you. I was just seeing if you were paying attention. All right. Now watch. I'm going to put this in. I guess you don't really have to. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to put it in parentheses. 1.06. Are you guys watching, Justin? 1.006 to the third power. Now, how do you do to a certain power? Whoops. No, it's not a double E thing. That's something completely different. All right. 1.0. Oh, goodness. I'm messing everything up. 1.06 to the what? So I got to put this little caret thing there to the third. That should work. And there you go. Look, so what number is that? That's 16792. I got to remember that. 16792. And it's money, so let's round it. What do we round it to if it's money? To what? To the cents, right? So what was it? I missed it. Point what? 39. So 39 cents. So what did we just find right there with all that silliness and confusion? So you put that in the bank. You know, it's not that easy to get $16,000, but you put $16,000 in there. I mean, look, it was only compounded yearly. It was only 6%, but for 3 years, you just sit it there, $16,000, so less than $7,000, right? Or sorry, less than 16,700. Well, what do? I mean, that just shows you need more time, you need better interest rate, you need that kind of stuff. So, you know, you're not going to put 10 bucks in and expect to get $20,000 at the end. So you got to understand how interest rate works. But that's still a pretty decent deal. You still, you made money doing nothing, right? So you might as well give it a shot. All right, that's enough. All right, I'll give you the worksheet right now.